My episcopal motto is Misericordes Sicut Pater, which simply means be merciful like our Father. Whenever we think about national collections, we may think of it as a contemporary action, but actually, when we read the New Testament letters of St. Paul, we see that St. Paul took up collections for the church in need in other parts of the world. And so, our cooperation in Christian charity is part of our unity and our communion in the body of Christ, and it has been since the very first days of the church. So, what we do today with national collections is we assist so many different efforts both within our country, our church, and also around the world. And for people who are Christian or non-Christian, we do it because we love God and we love our neighbor. And at a real point, we have to put our love into action. And one of the ways we do that is through our many assistance efforts, which take place through national collections. During my life, I've been blessed to experience the work of the church in a variety of different situations and to benefit from the efforts of our national collections. I grew up in a mission diocese, a home mission diocese of the United States. And so I saw directly how our home missions collections helps the local church to be able to carry out its mission when it lacks the resources to do so. I also spent time with the church in Africa as a seminarian and had the opportunity to see the church working in the midst of some of the most underdeveloped countries of our world, and seeing that mission being carried out by dedicated sisters, priests, and lay volunteers left a lasting impact in me and certainly increased my desire to be part of the solution to world poverty through charitable donations. I also have a connection to the church in Central America. And so seeing again how the church helps people to rise out of systemic poverty and also to address situations of great distress or persecution has left within me a lasting desire to continue helping our brothers and sisters as they struggle to achieve those human rights which are God-given. As many people know, we face an unquestionable future regarding U.S. government aid to those countries in distress or to people suffering devastation or disaster. The Catholic Relief Services collection is of particular importance now so that we can continue literally to care for the life-giving needs of our brothers and sisters around the world. They may be refugees fleeing war or fleeing natural disaster. They may be people seeking a life for their family, of employment, education, and health care. But part of our duty of Christian charity is to support them. We can't relegate this responsibility to the government. As Christians, we need to have an active participation in the corporal works of mercy. That's a direct expression of our faith. And so regardless of government support, we need to be actively contributing towards this effort as active members of the body of Christ. One of the best things that I would encourage people to do is to actually visit the work of the church around the world to see how we are practically helping people in direct situations of dire need. When you experience the church working in these different mission areas, you'll come to know the people. You'll come to experience their love, their generosity, their charity. You'll see their joy. And inevitably, you will make them a part of your lives from that moment forward, and you will remain a part of their lives. It's that communion and that solidarity, Pope Francis speaks about that accompaniment, that synodality, that really brings about a conversion of heart and creates a lasting connection. And from that connection flows a very generous support of our brothers and sisters in need. So what we do in national collections is not just provide a handout to others based on whatever leftover change we happen to have, but rather we express a serious commitment to show our love of God in our love of neighbor, and to realize that our brother and sister are of equal dignity with us. And as we would readily accept help from them if we were in need, so too in the example of the Good Samaritan, we should help them in their moment of need as well, because they are our neighbor. My favorite saint. Actually, my favorite saint is St. Catherine of Siena. I really didn't know much about Catherine until I was a seminarian and did my Italian studies in Siena. And there I came to read her works and to study her life. And I really grew to appreciate her profound apostolic spirituality. That was something that was a bit revolutionary for her time in history, especially for a woman. There, in the middle of the 14th century, she who began seeking communion with Christ in solitude and isolation was led to experience her love and her encounter with Christ in the poor, the suffering, those who were dying of the plague, and those who were condemned in prisons. She carried out a mission of great international peace and reconciliation, and she sought the reform of the church. She, for me, is a tremendous example of what true apostolic spirituality looks like, that is deeply rooted in prayer and expresses itself in tireless efforts every day.